Awesome. Well, thank you guys. All right. I feel like it's been a while. Dig in, start eating, and then we'll do a demo after the first course. All right. I'm going to do a 5-minute demo, guys. So only five. I'll keep it as short as I can. This is JustPaid right here. Basically, we manage contracts. So anything like DocuSign or anything in Dropbox Sign, any type of structured or unstructured data, you can upload it into our platform. So here's one of our contracts loaded in. And over here, you see all the data is pulled into the left-hand side. So basically, you don't have to do any typing. Everything is like from any complex contract, you can pull it in. So here you can see like we have an annual fee, we have monthly additional users. It basically figures it out with AI. Super simple. The interface is super simple. You can learn it in literally like an hour. You guys are all finance people, so it's super easy. You can edit details. So here we have milestone billing. So like if you have an implementation and you get paid from that, you basically can set up a milestone and those sorts of things. That's a milestone right there. You know, you review everything here. You basically look at it all and you say, if this looks good, you hit approve. And then all of your contracts, your customer contracts, basically could be managed in this super easy. So here's one contract. Contract value is $22,000. Everything looks good. We want the customer to pay us. Here it auto generates all the invoices for you. So you have a list of all of your invoices for 2025, 2026. If there's usage-based stuff or stuff like that, it actually is placed in afterwards. So here, this is called a draft state. You have to review the invoices. You can auto send the invoices in our product. One of the really nice things is we have amendments. So basically, as the years go on, or if you negotiate something new, you basically upload an amendment and all the future invoices will change. So it's a really powerful feature where, you know, people are always negotiating and things are just changing in the contracts. And from here, once you basically, you know, have everything set up, you can go in, and this is essentially like an invoice. This is one invoice from one contract from a customer. So here you can see the invoice here. If I click in here, this is what customers see. So when the invoice is sent out to them through email, you can see it right here. Customers can just pay. They click, you know, either ACH, you have credit card payments, whatever you want, you can kind of configure per customer. Invoice management, this is basically just a breakdown of all the invoices because you may have thousands of customers, you may have, you know, thousands of invoices. So basically you can go through, kind of parse through and see like what's happening, what's overdue, what's paid, what's voided. You can just jump into any invoice that way. We have a really nice search as well. We use JustPaid to have our customers pay us. This is my favorite personal screen. I look at this weekly. I just look at who's paid us and who hasn't. I go, okay, I'm looking over here, you know, this company over here, the colors change depending on the customer and if they paid you. You have a lot of reports as well. So we have SaaS metrics, you have revenue recognition, a bunch of other really nice reports for everybody. SaaS metrics, this is another report I look at, basically like who's paying you, how much, month, you know, MRR, ARR, that sort of thing. It's really nice for investor reports. When the investor calls me from JustPaid, I can just look at this quickly and give them like a quick update. We have revenue recognition as well. It's revenue recognition. What I like about this is a headache for a lot of people. We break everything down in a really nice way. So you can kind of just look at your revenue rec very, very, very quickly here. And moving on from there, revenue reconciliation. So as money is coming into your bank account, we have an AI tool that will tie each invoice to what money comes in. So here I'm just, you know, showing off like what is happening right here. So you can kind of dig into each one. You see the invoice, you see what money was tied to it, and then it basically is really nice interface there. Reminders. So this is one of my favorite things is we have like an AI reminder system, which basically you can create personas. A lot of you guys know Adalia. This is her persona. We use it in our actual product when we send out our own invoices. And then the invoices go out with her, like the way that she speaks. It's really cool. And you can change things up. You can configure your reminders the way you want. You can have, you know, late reminders. You can have different tones from the reminder. So you can see there, like it's all changeable. So this is a really nice feature. I like it because it just reminds us, you know, reminds all of our customers to pay us when they just are forgetful. Lots of reports here. You can see when emails are sent, when they look at it. I love it because I can see who opened their invoice. And it's a really nice feature. Yeah, you just go, okay, they looked at it. At least they know it's there. And then we have a bunch of integrations. We integrate with everything out there, from Salesforce to NetSuite to HubSpot. You name it. If there's an integration you need, we do it. We just do integrations all day long for a lot of our customers. That's our product. Thank you, guys. That's the first demo. Keep eating. We have another course coming, and then Vinay's going to do a demo at the next course.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So presentation time again.
We have 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Vinay is going to show our newest project. Awesome.
So when Daniel presented, he presented a JustPaid as a platform where you have a lot of things for billing, account receivables, and it is a structured platform. You have to fit into that based upon your workflows. Maybe your sales rep doesn't feel like logging into JustPaid and upload the contracts, or maybe your accountant is not used to the platform that she may be using only QuickBooks. She might not be logging into JustPaid. So they have to retrain their brains to use a different platform. And this causes a lot of problem. And we have seen this over and over with our existing customers and also the customers that we are talking to. There is a lot of process, like inherent process in their company that doesn't match how JustPaid is handled right now. So they have to amend their process just for using JustPaid. And we are having a lot of problem because their onboarding a customer will be very difficult. For example, they might be using Stripe for invoicing, and they might be using DocuSign for sending a contract, and they track every record on their CRM. At that time, all of this has to be, again, like they have to check again everything in JustPaid as well. What we're trying to do is, why we need to add another tool to your financial stack? Why can't we just live with the existing stack that you already have and make sure everything that you're using right now seamlessly integrate with the workflows that we build? For example, when you hire an accountant or hire a controller, you train them how to use different platforms, and you explain the business logic to them so that they will work in a certain way that you want your business to be function. Similar way, why can't we build a workflow with an agent that will work like your new hire and do a certain job and perform things inside your tech stack? We don't need another platform. That's what we're thinking, and that's how I think the next version of next gen platform is going to be built. So we want to showcase you Loop4. Originally, we started our company with the Loop4 as our name. We never actually built anything with the Loop4 domain, but because that was not our business, and JustPaid was an app for billing platform. But now we are building a generic financial operations solution that is more agentic in nature. It is not agentic in the sense like everything will be AI. It will be a predefined certain workflows that will function according to your business needs. But it will be developed with the help of AI workflows, where rather than you manually configuring them or writing code, you ask the AI to set up this workflow according to your business needs. That's what I'm going to showcase a demo. It is basically like when a contract comes in, the current JustPaid platform asks you to upload things or just send it to a inbox. What if you just share it to a teammate in Slack and say, hey, go do this or process this for me. I'll send an invoice for it. And it does all the stuff and send invoice for you, and you eventually go look at your Stripe account or whatever the payment rails that you want, let's see that the invoice is already sent. That is what I'm going to showcase. Okay, so think Loop4 as a new employee. Just ask it to do something which the employee is trained on. So there is a new workflow that is already set up, which processes contracts according to your business logic. This is a predefined one. It is configured already. It is like, it reads through your contract agreement, understands your business, and start the processing. Looks at the corresponding fields, get the information, asks for your confirmation. And now it extracted things. If there are any missing fields, it should be able to ask you things. Hey, what is this? What is this field for you? For example, here you mentioned I want to send invoice to Vinay@justpaid.io, but the contract have a different name. It detected that there is a discrepancy and asked you that you have to do something. It asks for your confirmation. You just confirm things or clarify it. Once the clarification is done, it will go to the next step and say like, hey, does this subscription or this payment details looks good? Do you want me to create a subscription for this? Or if you say if you don't use subscription, if you directly use QuickBooks, it will ask you to invoice directly to QuickBooks. Once you approve those confirmations, it will set up things in the corresponding platform that you have already configured. Here, in case it's Stripe, you can go to, now you can actually look at your Stripe account. It will create a contract with phases as well. Like the contract has a multiple milestones. Implementation has a different milestone. Pilot has a different milestone. Continuation period or subscription phase has a different milestone. All of it is automatically picked up and set it up in your Stripe account with its own phases and its own values. And it will ask for confirming things on Slack itself. Do you want to send an invoice or specify the next action? If you confirm that next action, it will send an invoice directly to your system. Here I'm just showcasing that it has picked up the right details from the contract, and also back reference certain things like from where this is pulled from. You can put a lot of data from the contract itself directly on Slack as well, and it is pre-configured as well. And once you send invoice, it's going to send you the invoice to the corresponding user. If there are any errors, it will say, hey, this is not billable, or there is a certain issue. Please help me. Just like your employee says, hey, I need some help, it will ask for help and it will give you necessary actions to take. And once the application workflow is done, the corresponding session is completed. And you can have this type of workflows, multiple workflows. Say you want to have a collections agent or a person who actually follows up on your collections. All the overdue reminders, you can just set up a workflow saying that for any invoice that is greater than $10,000 and it is overdue by 30 days, send them an email saying that, hey, you already passed the initial grace period and we're going to suspend the accounts after this. And you're going to prompt it, or you're going to create this workflow and set it up in your system or ecosystem in Looper every time, and it will run in the background every day, because it's just like a worker who's gonna actually look at your Stripe account or QuickBooks account and gonna get all those things listed and perform those actions and confirm that with you on an email or a Slack or whatever communication medium that you have selected. So you are in loop all the time. At the same time, it is working for you rather than you working for the systems. That's about it. Any questions?
So what about integrations with project management software?
Yeah, we can definitely integrate with those connections. The only, as I mentioned, this is just the building blocks. The only blocker that we have to get it to every single hatch is like, we need to build more integrations. We currently build only certain things that we thought could be helpful, but if you have use cases that things that are going to help a lot of people, just throw at us, because we are eager to build more stuff and we want to know what are the things that this can be very used for, because our thought process of knowledge is limited to JustPaid platform itself. Like we are thinking of JustPaid customers who will be the potential ones, but it could be generic for anyone who is dealing with a lot of messy workflows that requires a human somewhere outside of USA who has to go through two different screens at the same time. That's where this particular system will help you a lot. you can actually have a human doing things as well, but you can reduce the amount of friction that they are having. So you will eventually speed up the process and the accuracy rate also increases. We don't want to change your workflow. We just want to build that workflow into our system so that it will run according to your needs and reduce the time, and it is available 24/7. So you don't need to worry about does it work every time or not, or does it needs new trigger or not, because it runs in the background.
You're mostly sort of saying SaaS clients. High volume.
For now, mostly SaaS clients.
I think your question is more relevant for recurring billing.
Yeah.
I think we can perform certain workflows there where we have to understand how the data comes from there. The materials, where are the materials coming from? Is it on the project space, project management software, or is it somewhere on the Excel sheet? And when you actually invoice them, when is the materials built? So if we have that business knowledge, we can build that workflow. And
So you could create the invoice then.
yeah, we can create the invoice then and get back to you or send it to you on your platform.
Do you build so if there's like a specific use case or where, for example, where you have it's like time usage or whatever, right? And there's different rates depending on the type of usage. We was what's white gloving and creating the logic for us, or do we have to go in and build logic ourselves to then deploy?
We will do the white glove logic for during the setup itself. So we will have an implementation call or onboarding call where we will understand your billing process. Make sure we set up a workflow. Technically, we are not writing the workflow manually like out of code. Instead, we are utilizing building blocks that are already built, and we only write the custom functionality. For example, you have 10 different SKUs and each SKU has its own pricing. We just need to set up that pricing block which has the SKU setup. Whenever the usage comes in through your platform that you are already using, or it can be just a person who can enter it in a form or tag a bot and say that for this particular customer, this is the usage for this month. It automatically triggers that workflow, pass through that pricing agent, create the invoice or summarize the aggregate value for you so that you can either invoice the customer or share the details with your internal team so that they can handle the rest of the work.
Look, what I find usually, I guess in the market with business owners and also finance leaders is that there's a little bit of hesitance, if you will, with buying SaaS tools and inputs.
Yes.
But especially in the world of generative AI and agentic AI, people find it very difficult to justify the return on investment. And when it comes to finance, agentic AI is an absolute misnomer. No one really knows how to use it.
Yes.
Should they trust it? There's been a lot of compliance issues, incorrect billing, information being sent out, data being compromised.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that ask you these questions?
There are two parts I will answer this in two parts. One, yes, agentic AI have this uncertainty element in it that actually hinders the actual usage, especially in finance, because the numbers might go on. But having a certain workflow, like a workflow that is predefined, before this pre-generative era, this was solved by engineering. Your engineering team will write code for it and test the code and then deploy it and then hand it over to the finance teams to use the product. They give the review or comment and say, once they build the trust, they will start using the product. Now, the engineering work that your engineering team used to do, it can be offloaded to a generative way. So you're not building agents on the fly. Instead, you are building the workflows that are replacement for your engineering. And that engineering value, you can test it and you can trust. Only when you have the trust of using it, then you can implement into your work. Otherwise, you can reiterate on it and make changes. Just like how you ask your engineering team to build things, you can reiterate on this workflow as well, and you can create a number of versions that you want to use.
Can I ask you, are you using a particular LLM? That's one of the popular ones, or?
We use multiple LLMs for different use cases, but in addition to LLMs, we are also have a heavy code block, right? The business logic will be handwritten code. It should be as if an engineer went and wrote the code on your business logic. You just hand code.
So you've written the code for various agents that you then customize for everyone's else.
And each agent can be customized for your use case. Yes, that's correct.
There is an inflection point that's happening in finance where the people who are embracing, I think, are going to have an edge over anyone else. So it's if you learn it, you're just going to have a tool set as a finance person that no other finance person is going to have. And I think it's those people who are looking at it like that are going to they're just going to have a better, I'd say happy customer, whether it's their CEO or the factual CFO and you're doing it. So I think the people who are learning it are just going to excel. And it's this weird time. It's probably the next 2 years is a window where you're just going to have this huge advantage as a 15%.
Do you implement or integrate with a NetSuite? And what was your motivation to sit there and say, other than AI, to sit there and say, NetSuite doesn't do it well. We can fit right in here within their profile and build workflows. Where's your differentiator and what was your motivating factor on it?
Number one motivating factor is juggling with multiple fish. If NetSuite alone solves the problem, then you're in a good shape because you don't need to go over. That would be a sales tool which will be not integrating with NetSuite. Or maybe your salesperson has to do something in NetSuite or somehow they want to write data back to NetSuite. In those situations, you either have to build a custom integration between this, or maybe there is a human who actually gonna check in with a third-party team, say CS team, ask them, hey, is this particular customer implementer or how much services have you offered? Get those details and then input that value again into NetSuite. There is some human involvement or there is some checking in the way. That's where we fit. If NetSuite is able to probably do all of your work, that would be good. But anything that lives outside and any process that lives outside, that's where we're going to automate. And we do integrate with NetSuite as well in several forms. Also accounting as well as in sending invoices, revenue recognition, and also there is contracting piece in NetSuite as well. This is also tough to integrate. We are currently still trying to understand how we can integrate it with, because NetSuite is very bad at exposing APIs. They don't want to give them to third party because they want to be in. Yeah, it is expensive as well.
And you can't find folks to go and implement it.
Yeah, we're still trying to see how we can actually integrate deeply into NetSuite ecosystem. But it all depends upon how customer use it. The customer says hey, I want to actually execute this workflow in a certain way. We could actually either go via API route if they have API, or we do have a browser automation where the user, technically it's like a training an AI, just like a human, going to step by step, executing steps and completing it, and executing the task that you wanted. So there are two different things that we have thought of. If API route is the first and foremost thing because it is certain, we know exactly how the API will behave and we can hand code it. If API doesn't work, in that case, we can fall back to other solutions like a browser-based solution.
Thank you guys. Well, dessert is served.